2007 meeting of the Glendale Redevelopment Agency. We will call the meeting to order at 3:29. Mr. City Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Agency members: Najarian. Here. Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Yusefian. Chairman Draymond.
Here. Could we have the first item, please?
My report is that the agenda for the December 4th, 2007 regular meeting of the Glendale Redevelopment Agency was posted on Thursday, November 29, 2007 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
And first item, please.
Approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve them?
So moved. Second.
Minutes are approved. Submitted. Next item, please.
This item is oral communication. Discussion is limited to items not part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the redevelopment agency may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff through the executive director for investigation and report.
We have one card. It's from Herbert Milano. Mr. Milano, I notice you're wearing something you're not usually wearing.
Oh, this is my memory flashcard.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Draven, members of the Redevelopment Agency, city staff. I want to segue on my comments earlier in the Housing Authority meeting. Oh, by the way, my name is Herbert Milano. That finding the type of reporting that allows us to figure out where we were and where we were going sometimes could be very enlightening, especially for you. Because I figured if I have to struggle through lots of documents, even though these policies have been the same for decades, it is only as I began to look at the information that the city has provided traditionally that I see gaps with regard to how concisely the information is presented. I decided to go to the city of Irvine and take a look at their budget and compare that to the total budget, and there's about one-third the size of Glendale's. And their data generally is a lot more relevant. It gives more information in a smaller packet. And to me, the budget summary is an excellent way to start, especially if you have it in a comparative way. I know that most of you were surprised, just as I was, when I went to take a look, for example, at developed parkland by planning areas and looked at recreational planning area 10, and then find out that for more than 20 years, no parkland had actually been, increased in that area, and the ratio was so incredibly small. And I was thinking, if we were to take a look at that developed parkland and were to graph it out, year to year, then those things will be highlighted to you when you're making policy to say, we have a significant deficiency here. And that's the deficiency that we have had with regard to parkland in the redevelopment area, especially as the population increases. I know that sometimes my presentations here appear to be contentious, but I guess it's in my exasperation at seeing the data and then seeing really the lack of follow-up on the policy. There is so much data that the city is retaining, but at your level, you need to see the top level only in a summarized way that tells you, look, we've been deficient here, or the ratio of population of parkland to population has been decreasing significantly. Because I think that when you look at the data in that way, you yourselves will see from the top level what the policy should be. And when I've responded to the, or helped my attorney respond to the environmental impact reports, now I can say I feel comfortable, from cover to cover with what information is needed and how it's evaluated and how it is presented. And it is my contention that even that data is scattered all over the place. It's not concise enough for you to, in your limited time, you're sent here one day a week, to look at this thing and say, wait a second, we have a problem here, we need to change our policies. And in that light, I want to, refocus my effort again in taking a look at the opportunities we have in providing in the redevelopment area for the parkland that is needed to provide a commensurate amount for the residents that are coming on board. And I think that the most important area that we have with the least cost with regard, because we own the land, is Central Park. And in my desire to see a city really look like many of the primary cities throughout the world, where there is an urban parkland that really defines and gives the city a character. Was my motivation behind the lawsuit challenging the downtown specific plan. And I stated it then and I stated it now, that my objective is to see 2.5 acres of green open space, not just because all the statistics demand that we provide that to the current residents because they have been without adequate parkland, but also for the future residents, but also for the cultural signature that that land can have. And obviously I feel strongly about it, otherwise I wouldn't be spending all this time. But Glendale is incredibly unique in that regard. And for us to not to take full advantage, to me it's an awful shame not to take advantage of it as we certainly can. And my presenting to you the budget numbers is to see basically what has occurred and what has transpired and where our focus has been. And maybe you could rethink where our focus should be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Milano.
Mr. Raymond.
Yes, Mr. Weaver.
It's an interesting note. Back in the 80s, I chaired a Parks and Open Space Committee, and we became aware of all lands available. And before any of you arrived here in '97, a big parcel was available for parkland in the most needed areas. And I voiced that here, and on a 3-2 vote, I lost. The area was developed. So it's a question of who's sitting on the dais, the needs of the community at the time. From decade to decade, things change. I was on the losing end there. I doubt if I would be on the losing end today. It's just the way it happened out. The recognition is there. I've read the Parks and the Park Efficiency book. I know where it is. But to find the lands and to find the opportunities and the money, that's another thing.
Very good. All right, Mr. City Clerk, let's move on.
On the business agenda at 6A is Director of Development Services regarding Alex Regional Theater Art Board Quarterly Report at 6A1. There's a motion accepting the quarterly report for the period ending September 30th, 2007, and ordering it filed with the Director of Development Services.
Mr. Weaver.
I'd like to move 6A1.
Second.
Okay.
Nothing else new. It's always good.
Well, I just have a comment.
Well, let's go to Ara then.
I mean, it looks very good. Increased cash flow, attendance up by 17%, increased activities 36%, net revenue up, and very good. I mean, that's a great. It's a great path that they're on at this point. So hopefully, you can keep doing it.
Barry McComb is here. Barry, would you like to say a few words, or if you're comfortable?
Only as needed.
Do I have any questions, Mr. McComb? No? All right. Then let's go ahead and call the roll.
Agency members: Najarian,
Yes.
Quintero,
Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
Yusefian, Chairman Draymond.
Yes. Next item, please.
Are there any agency member or staff comments?
Any? Phil Lansfame.
Mr. Chairman, members of the agency, just wanted to remind you and the community, in Adams Square this week, there'll be a holiday and tree lighting event from 2 to 5 p.m. Probably light the tree around 4:30. You're all invited, as is the community.
And this is sponsored by who?
Sponsored by the Adams Square Merchants Association.
And just for the record, as usual, I will not be there. I have a little float to decorate over in Pasadena.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lansfame. Let's move on.
There's no new business. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We stand in adjournment. Marty.
you have a comment or question regarding Channel 6 programming, call us at 818-548-4013.
Funding for this program was made possible by Lexus of Glendale, the Committee for a Clean and Beautiful Glendale.
NSTV, the Junior Ambassadors,
NSTV,
the Adopt a Block program,
City of Glendale,
Code Enforcement Minute, GEM Awards, Neighborhood Services TV.
Hello, Jewel City. I'm Dr. Speckle.
and I'm Professor Clyde. Welcome to the Halloween episode of NSTV, where you can get a sneak peek at the programs and projects operated by the Committee for a Clean and Beautiful Glendale and Neighborhood Services.
The last time we met, Professor Clyde and I were hot on the trail of the dreaded swamp monster. Our adventures led us to make a chilling discovery. The swamp monster has joined forces with the most wretched and disgusting of villains.
She's talking about the drain-dwelling desperado. It drifts through our storm drain system, feeding off of trash and litter. We must stop it before it reaches the ocean, poisoning and killing countless innocent sea creatures and contaminating our local beaches.
While we continue our hunt for the drain-dwelling desperado, you can learn more about what our partners at Neighborhood Services are doing to eliminate the kind of blight that the desperado is drawn to.
Do you have graffiti on your property? Glendale Municipal Code requires that property owners remove graffiti within 10 days. The city's Neighborhood Services Division offers property owners a convenient graffiti removal service for a minimal cost. Our one-time removal fee ranges from $35 to $100 depending on the square footage of the graffiti. For $150, Neighborhood Services will remove graffiti from your property for a whole year. You can spare yourself the aggravation and effort of removing graffiti from your property by calling Neighborhood Services at 818-548-3700 between 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. or after business hours on our graffiti removal hotline at 818-548-3726. Proceeds from this program will cover the cost of graffiti removal materials and are used to fund graffiti prevention programs. For Neighborhood Services, I'm Javier Covarrubias.
We've been out all night collecting water samples and searching for clues. I think we're very close to finding the despicable desperado.
According to these water samples, the drain-dwelling desperado has been feeding off fast food wrappers, soda cups, and a whole lot of cigarette butts.
Ew. Hello? Dr. Speckle and Professor Clyde? Yes, we're looking for the drain-dwelling desperado. You know where it is? Thank you, Inspector Litter. We'll check it out right away. Inspector Litter has spotted the desperado.
No way.
Yes, he sent us a video email all about his findings. Let's take a look.
Hello, Professor Clyde and Dr. Speckle. Inspector Litter here. I've captured the drain-dwelling desperado, right by a curb about to squeeze its way into a storm drain and pollute our local beaches. I'm trying to find out just how it got here. It's true. The open drains are meant to keep the streets from flooding during heavy rains, but when there is trash in the path of the rainwater rushing to the drain, the trash goes along with it and creates drain-dwelling desperados, also known as stormwater pollution. Stormwater pollution is the untreated contaminated water, such as water from garden hoses or other activities like car washing, that picks up trash such as cigarette butts, fast food wrappers, and pet waste from streets, parking lots, driveways, and yards. It carries all of it through the storm drain system straight into the LA River and out to the ocean to poison and contaminate the water and the creatures that live there. The best way to narrow down the search for the source of this desperado is to find out what or who it is working with. I need to figure out which of the 7 sources of litter is responsible, and then I can prevent the source from leaving more. Let's look at the clues. First on the list is household trash that gets loose on collection day. It isn't collection day here, so that can't be it. Trucks that don't cover up their loads of trash and debris is another source of litter. The trash flies off the truck when they are driving down the streets. There are no trucks around here, so our villain is not in cahoots with them. I can rule out construction sites, loading docks, and marinas from the list too. Uncovered business dumpsters can't be the cause because I caught this contemptible trash heap in a residential neighborhood. That leaves me with just two sources of litter left to choose from: motorists who don't use litter bags or ashtrays, and pedestrians or cyclists who don't use receptacles. I think I need to investigate further. Just up the street, I see a drink cup from the same place the rappers on a rogue rubbish renegade are from. I believe I am now hot on the trail of its accomplice. Aha, just as I suspected, a pedestrian, and they've just tossed a cigarette butt onto the ground. All right, DDD, let's go meet your maker and show them why they should throw their litter in trash cans if they want to keep our waterways and beaches clean and pollution-free. Dr. Speckle, Professor Clyde, be warned, this trash-tossing twosome might have other partners in crime out there. I'll leave it to you to find out and help me get them to change their ways.
Wow, I had no idea how serious things were getting. We have to do something to stop people from polluting the storm drains. They've been feeding the drain-dwelling desperado all this time. We'll never be able to get people to change their littering behavior in time.
I know someone who can help. Spencer Hemingway, the 2007 I Love My Neighborhood poster contest winner, has been working on a plan to turn local school children into the pollution solution.
Hi, I'm Spencer Hemingway from Balboa Elementary School. I won last year's I Love My Neighborhood poster contest, and I'm inviting you to enter this year's contest. This year the theme is I Am the Pollution Solution. The contest is open to all elementary school students in Glendale grades kindergarten through 6th. It is easy to take part in and a great way to show pride in your neighborhood. Teachers, check your mailboxes in mid-November for your poster contest guide booklet. In it, you will find all the deadlines, guidelines, and suggested standards, aligned activities, and lessons. Your paper request form will be on the back of the booklet. You can also schedule a presentation for your classroom. All of the details you'll need are outlined in the booklet. Each year, Neighborhood Services and the Committee for a Clean and Beautiful Glendale receives nearly 10,000 posters from elementary school students all over the city. These entries are carefully sorted through by the committee. The committee chooses 2 finalists from each school, 1 in grades kindergarten through 3 and 1 in grades 4 through 6. All finalists, their families, teachers, and principals are invited to an award ceremony held in April. Each finalist is recognized with a personalized trophy. The top 10 finalists receive additional prizes, and the grand prize winner is revealed. The winner's poster is turned into a real poster and used in a citywide pollution prevention campaign. All of the posters will be judged on how well the theme I Am the Pollution Solution is shown in the picture. They are also judged on technical merit, how creative they are, and the use of color and space. Spelling is important too, so check the spelling before you turn in your poster. The committee's mascot, Litter Knot, is required to be in your picture. You can draw Litter Knot on your own or copy or trace a picture of him. It doesn't matter how he looks, just as long as he is part of your poster. One more thing, in order to be considered for the grand prize, your entry has to be vertical, like this one that I did last year. Horizontal entries will not be considered for the grand prize. All posters must also be on the right size paper provided by Neighborhood Services. Ask your teacher about it and find out if your class will be participating. If not, you can enter it on your own. Contact Neighborhood Services at 818-548-2125. Tell them you want to enter I Love My Neighborhood poster contest. They will give you all the information you will need to get started. That's all for now. I'll look forward to seeing you at this year's I Love My Neighborhood Poster Contest Award ceremony, and hopefully you too can proudly say, I am the pollution solution.
I finally figured out what we can do to destroy the drain-dwelling desperado.
No way.
Yes, I've been working on my greatest masterpiece, some conglutinated civic pride, a glob of neighborhood responsibility, throw in some chunks of environmental stewardship. That should do the trick. Now we just get a couple of drops of my special cocktail into the water supply, and people will stop littering forever.
Not so fast, Professor. We can't spike the water. Besides, there's plenty of people out there who care about their community. If they drink this water, your tonic will neutralize their already socially responsible behavior and turn them into drain-dwelling desperado deputies. Our friend Bumblebee Webb and his sidekick are out in the community right now looking for some people who have community spirit. Or should I say Halloween spirit.
On this year's spooktacular houses throughout the community.
For ages upon ages, I've been watching Glendale residents and business owners turn their properties into frightening works of art. The Committee for a Clean and Beautiful Glendale presents all of them with a
We're on the 1100th block of Geneva Street. You might remember this yard from last year's spectacular Caribbean pirate ship. This is Susan and Alan Arnall, and this year they've created a Hogwarts castle. So, Alan, can you tell us how you constructed this huge castle?
Well, it's a lot of constructive effort, and we're trying to live out the philosophy of if you can do something, you got to overdo something. So we've got a 3-story Hogwarts castle, complete with the lights, windows, everything. And the kids insisted. The kids had to have the Battle of Hogwarts this year. And so here we have it. It's styrofoam, wood, smoke, mirrors, and lots of light. And, you know, we're just going to be really having a big battle here come Halloween night.
That sounds awesome. And where did you get most of the material to build this?
Well, you know, there's a lot of dumpster diving involved for some of this styrofoam. That's one of the more elegant, you know, features of being able to do this kind of a thing. You know, not many people would really enjoy that. So we get the dumpster diving. We get some stuff from Home Depot. We get styrofoam that's basically almost throwaway stuff that the neighbors are getting rid of. And this is basically a collective junk effort. But if you spray paint it enough and you put enough stuff in the lights, you can really build something.
It's completely awesome. I bet you'll have 1 million trick-or-treaters this year. And your kids love this castle?
Well, they love it. They kind of want to camp out in it at night. I'm telling them that's kind of okay with me, you know, but I'm not sure that eventually the city would like it. It's going to leak if it rains. So, you know, we'll give them a try.
Well, you two, on behalf of the Committee for a Clean and Beautiful Glendale, I'd like to present you with this Halloween Spirit Award for your magnificent decorations this year.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Hi, young lady. What are you this year for Halloween?
I'm a witch from Harry Potter.
Oh, nice. And your brother? What are you?
I'm a wizard from Harry Potter.
From the new Harry Potter book?
Yes.
Awesome. And what are you?
A dragon.
A dragon. Oh, tell me your true identity.
Batman!
I knew it. I recognized him. And you must be about 600 years old. I was there when you were a wee little girl. What's your name?
Macrina.
Macrina, but what's your real name?
Macrina!
Macrina, but who are you, Macrina?
She's a princess. I'm a princess.
Yeah. I know. I saw when you were crowned little princess. And you, I think I've seen you before, but can you tell me what your name is and who you are, young lady?
Okay. I am a witch, and that's all.
How old are you? Tell me.
I'm 12.
No, you're 1,200 years old, aren't you? You're always hiding your age. Those witches are always hiding their age. Can you tell me a little bit about this castle here? I hear you read a book?
Yes, we read a book, the 7th Harry Potter book, and we're basing this castle on it.
Okay, who else read the book? Yeah? Tell me a little bit about the story.
Well, Harry Potter needs to find Horcruxes to destroy them to kill Voldemort, and at the end there ends up to be a battle at Hogwarts, and eventually Harry won, and that's basically it.
You mean you're telling us the end of the story? You're spoiling it for everybody.
Well, they break into Gringotts and get out on a dragon, and
that dragon over there?
And Dobby the house elf dies. He made his...
He was really old, I know him. He was born before I was.
Come on, Devin. This place looks like it has a lot of candy.
Hello? Trick or treat. Well, hey! Wait a minute. It's Hillbilly Cody and the Sandra clone, right? From last year? How's it going?
We have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, you guys are familiar here. Sure, here you go. A little something for you, and
thank you.
A little something for you. Love your costumes.
Costume? I'm not wearing a costume.
You sure?
I'm Devin Alrighty.
Devin Alrighty?
Yeah.
Alrighty with me. What are you, Busy Bee?
I'm Bumblebee Webb.
Bumblebee Webb. Original. Love it.
Yes.
Hey, have a good Halloween.
Thank you.
You want here? Have one more.
Oh, extras.
And something for you.
Thanks. I love it.
All right, happy Halloween.
Like your decorating, buddy.
Oh, well, hey, thank you. Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Oh, well, sure. Every year I dig about 12 boxes out of my garage, and I just go to work. I spend about a month kind of preparing, and I make some tombstones every year, and every year's a little bit different, you know. Just is that good? You want some more chocolate? Help yourself.
Got the good candies.
Yeah, it's a labor of love. I love Halloween. My wife loves Christmas. So in a couple months from now, this house will be all Santa Claus and snowmen and all kinds of craziness. The city of Glendale is great, and they really inspire. They inspire creativity and offer the Spirit Awards and stuff. So I like to do my part, for the community.
Did you get one this year?
Well, not yet, but I'm sure someone will nominate me, maybe eventually. If not, hey, it doesn't even matter because I do it from the heart.
I got friends in high places.
Yeah. Do you? Oh, that's
a couple more candies and we'll see what we can do about that award.
Please, check. Whoa! Take them all. If it means getting a Spirit Award, I mean,
yes.
There you go. Merry Christmas. Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
All right, well, listen, I got a bun in the oven, so we're going to, I'm making a bun cake.
All righty then.
All right, well, happy Halloween.
See you later.
Thank you very much.
Hey, all right. Take care.
Well, that wraps up another spooktacular Halloween. On behalf of Neighborhood Services and the Committee for a Clean and Beautiful Glendale, we would like to thank all of this year's participants in the Halloween home decorating program. For NSTV, I'm Buzz Bumblebee Webb.
And I'm Devin Alrighty.
And we're buzzing out.
It's almost time for Halloween.
Well, looks like our work here is done. As long as people remember not to feed the drain-dwelling desperado, we should be all right.
I definitely think kids are the pollution solution, and everyone else can do their part by not littering, or they can pick up around their neighborhoods. If you have any questions about what you can do to help stop feeding the drain-dwelling desperado, call us at 818-548-3700, or send us an email at nstv@ci.glendale.ca.us.
That's all the time we have for now. But remember, keep the Verdigos green
and Glendale clean. For NSTV Laboratories, I'm Professor Clyde.
And I'm Dr. Speckle. See you next time.
It could be a rat. It's a rat. That's the guy who is the rat with the finger chopped off. What is his name?
Tell me when.
You guys... Okay, you guys need to be closer together.
Oh, how sweet. You're cramping my style.
Is this the right hole? No, honey. Down here where the last hole is.
Mommy?
You know, down there. Where at the, the very base.
Devin, alrighty.
My beard is falling off.
Yes, we're looking for the drain-dwelling desperado. Yes, we're looking for the drain...
Heaven Almighty!
And Bumblebee Webb.
Hey! Who let the bees out?
Bzz, 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 bzz.
Who let the bees out?
Bzz, bzz, bzz.
Funding for this program was made possible by Lexus of Glendale, the Committee for a Clean and Beautiful Glendale.
Welcome to another edition of Senior Spectrum, a show designed for our Glendale residents 55 and older. In this episode, we will review some basic pedestrian safety rules, learn how important it is to have regular health checkups, and join a class of artists who use wood as their medium.
My name is Pat Hines. I'm the founder and executive director of Safe Moves, and we teach traffic safety to everyone from the ages of 5 to 95. The primary goal of Safe Moves is to give them an option in their own safety by teaching them the skills they need to make the decisions they need to be safe in traffic. And we're always hoping that people will take us up on the challenge, take the information, and make their own choices when they're walking and crossing the street. Pedestrians are being hit anywhere between every 5 to 7 minutes, any age group. People don't realize that traffic collisions are one of the leading causes of death of children and adults. And one of the things that we as a public and people who work in injury prevention know that it's an ongoing battle to educate people on how to be safe. Not only the ones who are walking, but also the ones that are driving. Children are more likely to die in a traffic collision than any other cause. Certainly, traffic collisions are killing more seniors here in Glendale than a lot of other causes. And that's the thing we need to be aware of.
The number one cause of vehicle versus pedestrian accidents is the driver failing to yield to a pedestrian, whether it be in a marked crosswalk or in an unmarked crosswalk at an intersection. Some of the other factors, other causes, would be a pedestrian that steps off of the roadway in a place where they're not supposed to, or steps out into the roadway in front of a moving vehicle before it was safe to do so.
The goal of the traffic safety program in Glendale is to work with senior adults and show them all the ways that crashes can happen and all the choices available to them.
I have red lights both on top and bottom. So nobody can go, right?
We share information with each other. They have life experiences, and they share those life experiences as they travel in the streets and sidewalks of Glendale. And it's a working kind of relationship to come up with some solutions in making everybody safe.
The biggest cause of pedestrians being struck in the city of Glendale is that they don't look around when they want to cross the street or go into a store or whatever. I don't think they are aware of all of the dangers that exist, and the dangers that exist are speeding vehicles.
There are pedestrians who feel like that pedestrian has the right of way, so I can do anything I want, and they don't pay much attention. So it just depends on the individual case. Sometimes I think it's the pedestrian, and sometimes I think it's the car. Probably more often the driver who doesn't want to stop even though the law says he has to.
Glendale does fit this profile as far as the collisions and the factors in the collisions. Generally, the vehicle or the driver of the vehicle is at fault for the accidents, but at the same time, pedestrians are also a major factor in the collisions. Some of the actions that seniors can take to make themselves more visible, make themselves a little safer on the roadway when they're crossing, would be to wear some lighter clothing during darkness. They could also make more eye contact with the drivers in both directions, not to stare straight ahead or look down at the ground, but actually make eye contact the entire time, moving their head back and forth in both directions, looking at drivers while they're crossing the roadway.
As far as where it's safest for any of us, not only seniors, any city can be dangerous to any of us at any time if we're not paying attention. And I think here in the city of Glendale, where we have a very large population of seniors, and they're crossing and they're mobile and they're working and they're going to their recreational activities in the store, and they're out in their community using the sidewalks and the streets to get where they need to go, that Glendale has seen more than their share of traffic deaths and injuries. And I think one of the things that's interesting to me is that to name a city the most dangerous, it is an interesting thing, but also Glendale's doing more than a lot of other cities to keep seniors safe. So it's a real interesting relationship. I've never had the experience that a city's been so dedicated to making sure that the oldest citizens are as safe as the youngest citizens. I'm really proud to be a part of the city's program.
I think the city of Glendale has done everything possible to make it safe. And this is very impressive to me, because I've been in a lot of cities and I've done a lot of traveling, and I've never seen such concern about safety as we see here in Glendale.
Walking is a wonderful way to enjoy life here in Glendale, and the seniors are very lucky to live in such a beautiful city where walking is a very, very nice experience. But one of the things we try to remind seniors of, if you wear glasses, make sure you get your glasses checked. Be respectful of your body. Take care of yourself. If you're having trouble hearing, check your hearing. Hearing traffic is a very important element of being safe. Make sure you're walking in shoes that are comfortable and steady. If you have to carry packages, maybe carrying packages in a carrying cart is a much better idea than trying to hold too much as you cross the street. If your purse is too heavy, empty that purse out and carry only what you need. Here in Glendale, we've been giving out whistles to seniors so they can blow those whistles as they cross the street. It's a terrific way for those drivers to get off their cell phones, pay attention to you, and they're really a wonderful way to make sure you're alert when you're crossing the street as well. So seniors have been enjoying those whistles, and we're just grateful that we've had the funds to give those to seniors. But it's just taking a look. If you're going to go for a walk a long distance, know your safe route. Look people in the eye. Look like you know how to take care of yourself. Don't look vulnerable out there. Watch those cars. Keep an eye on that driver and make eye contact and cross the